That's our helium. So I made a specially designed shroud with 3 tubes. These are previously glued up. I've already done the vapor sampling, so it's not a concern at this point in time. And I'm just going to glue this down to the ground after hooking it up. All the joins are wrapped with Teflon tape. Okay, our flow rate with the helium sensor hooked up is 0.2 liters per minute, which is 200 mils per minute. And so far we have the helium sensor hooked up to new tubing, and we're running at, it was about 0.7 psi. More or less 0.73, minus 0.73 psi. So we've got a vacuum of 0.7. We're pumping 200 mils per minute through the helium sensor, which is zero. We don't have the helium sensor hooked up yet, or pardon me, we don't have the helium source hooked up yet. The sensor's hooked up and running properly. Okay, we've reduced the flow rate to 100 mils per minute, which is what I sampled at, which was what the lab had me set up for their vapor sample pump, was 100 mils a minute. I've used a pair of vice grips on the peristaltic tubing, new peristaltic tubing. I'm now getting minus 2.6 inches of water. Hang on. Minus 0.09 psi. Zero nine psi. Okay, we're drawing 2 inches of water, 2.15, 2.17 inches of water at 100 mils per minute with the helium sensor. Now we have to introduce 8 minutes of helium. The regulator is set up to deliver 1 liter per minute exactly by the lab. The dimensions of the shroud are 8 liters or 8,000 mils. So we run 8 minutes of helium into the shroud while we continually sense for helium with the sensor, which is hooked up and running. See, it's at 0 ppm for helium. We're 2 inches, 100 mils. 100 mils. Now we have to introduce the helium. We're just a 5-minute point, and was reading 0, is now reading 25 ppm. Back to 0. Okay, we're just purging. I've hooked up the helium sensor to the canister, and I'm purging gas back the other way through the flow meter into the helium sensor. The helium sensor is giving me 63% thereabouts helium. So the helium sensor is definitely working. So we're at a very small amount. I can figure out what 25 ppm is versus 61% at home. Really slight leakage, which is expected according to the New York State document. So we're good here. I'll get some photos. The value is dissipating slowly. It's at 57%. I'm just going to leave this thing on until it pulls the hydrogen through and takes it back to 0. Let's see how long that takes for a second, and pick up the rest of my stuff. It's February 18th, 2010. It's the official Olympic soil vapor sampling event. Leak detection at its best. Looks like the container glued